Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last video of the year for Homework Help, our unofficial closer. We finished off strong last month, officially in October, with Preptober. This is my official sign off for the year as I am filming this on Halloween. So happy Halloween, even though this is coming out on the 15th as usual. I know I had said in the last video I wasn't going to do um a another video for the year, but I kind of stumbled upon something that I needed to share. And just how we started off the year talking about different stories and tropes and romance, I think was the very first thing that we started with. We're going to end with something fun. So, welcome to the most unofficial homework help video of 2025 because this is just me being very excited. We don't even have any expectations. We just got to do's. We just got to do's, bro. We got things to talk about, and then we will wrap it up for the year. That's basically like the energy I'm coming in with this. So there are three games that we are going to talk about today. Um and they are near and dear to my heart. I didn't realize how they shape storytelling in a way that is non-traditional, in a way that is infinite in its own way, because you can technically play these games in different ways, in infinite ways. And you will, I mean, there's obviously certain things that you'll get that are the same, but there are results that you get that are different if you choose different things, like life. So, what am I talking about? These three games. You may or may not have heard of these games. If you haven't heard about Animal Crossing, you might be living under a fucking rock though, and Sims and Stardew. Honestly, if you haven't heard of any of these three, you might actually be living under a rock. So, my Sims I know is older. So if you don't have like a DS, a Wii, or an emulator, I don't know how to help you there. Uh, I know that there is The Sims. We are not talking about The Sims today. I'm so sorry. Maggie, please don't kill me because I know I got a lot of people that love The Sims. I have never played The Sims in my life. It is a fantastic game to watch other people play, though, I will tell you that much. I just don't have like, I don't know, the gumption for The Sims. But my Sims, we'll be talking about my Sims because I've spent an ungodly amount of time on my DS playing my Sims. And then we'll be talking about Animal Crossing, and then we'll be talking about Stardew Valley. And why are we talking about all of these games in the first place? Like I said, they are, in a sense, role playing games. They're definitely not your tabletop role playing hardcore games. They are soft games at best. They require a little bit of mind power, like especially in Animal Crossing, you're literally uh designing the whole island. I guess that's the best way to say it. Whereas My Sims and Stardew Valley, you only have like certain parts that you can upgrade, change, et cetera, et cetera. And we will get into that because the reason why I wanted to even talk about this today is because we are, well, as you are watching this video, in the midst of NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. Some people that are in game design might be in the middle of a game jam. And, you know, with the holidays and trying to do a sprint of a project at the same time, you need something fun to just get lost in. And I personally like things that require storytelling. For those that are gamers, you obviously have an extensive knowledge about games that are a lot more story oriented than this that you can get lost in, but humor me for 5 seconds. So we're going to start with My Sims. And no, I'm not going to give you like, I should look up gameplay, but do that on your own time because we'll be here forever if I do that. So, My Sims, we're going to focus on the premise of each game, what each game is built off of. Because not only does it give you a different perspective of how each game should be approached, but also how they approach storytelling. So, all year long, we've literally been talking about the different building blocks of storytelling. Doesn't necessarily matter what story you're telling, in what medium you're telling it, there are just specific things that all stories need to have, or you don't have a story. And with My Sims, their premise is to restore a rundown town by creating buildings and items to attract new residents. It sounds very bland, but literally, you are a new resident coming from Kingsville, and you go to the mayor, and the mayor's like, well, this town is a little sus. Not sus in a bad way, but like it's a little dilapidated, and our community is a little grouchy. And, if you could just pick like a few thousand weeds, that'd be great. Um, and as you're getting to know different community members throughout the game, you obviously enhance the town. You can talk to other people that come and visit said town. And as you make the choices to either befriend them or make them angry or whatever, you get points and you level up and all these things. But when you're playing My Sims, there's certain confinements that you have. Now, all these games have confinements, but like you have a map, you can change your style up until whatever, they have available. And they, like the clothes you can go to, there's a shop, a tailor here that you can go to and, upgrade your clothes or upgrade your hair or whatever else. These are some of the main characters from the game. I couldn't find more because it was hard enough to find these pictures. I know it's an old game, but it ain't that old. But like this is the map that you would see when you're like playing the DS, the part that's on the top. This is the map that you would normally see. This is the map of the whole area once you have unlocked like every little facet and thing available. Your house is like over here. This is the main town. When people are, places, they'll show you where they are, which is really freaking helpful. I wish they had that in Stardew Valley, but I digress. Remember I was talking about like if you succeed at in this time frame making this person happy or not, there's confinements of the day. So there's like I think 4 different times of the day, or maybe it's 3. And they kept it simple, just did 3. But there's not necessarily a season change, if I'm not mistaken, in this game. But the thing that I like about it is that it keeps it simple. It's like, all right, you have morning, afternoon, night, and sometimes they do like midnight, like late night. I don't remember if this game has that. I think it's only 3, like morning, afternoon, and night. And in the each time frame, certain things are open, certain things are available for you to interact with. In this game, there is no time limit of like you could literally be running in the middle of the night. I think there's energy. I don't remember if you have energy actually, but you can literally be running around at all times doing whatever. It just depends on what's open and closed. And if you have the materials to do the things you're trying to do. With this game, if you want to get lost in something old, this is it. Because the graphics are mid, the storyline is simple. Like, look, you have literally a racetrack of a line that you're following here for the main road, and then you take a boat to go to like 2 other places. So it's not as simple as like Animal Crossing, where it's like this is the one island, and since you built everything, you should know where everything is. But as you're going through the town, you're unlocking cutscenes, you're unlocking lore about the town, lore about the community itself, and you're integrating yourself into the community to make it better and ultimately make everyone happy. And I really don't know what happens at the end of the game because I got somewhere stuck here in Port Town with between the casino and the airport, and I don't know what else exists here in my mansion. Yeah, this is a good game if you are like stuck and you need simple world building lessons. This game is like pretty good at that. But let's say you don't have a DS and say you don't like anything I have been talking about and sounds bland as fuck. I hope you got a Switch because we're talking about Animal Crossing now. And for those that may have or may not have missed the Animal Crossing craze, this was a game that peaked in COVID I know it helped me survive COVID, whereas my Sims helped me survive like adolescence and middle school. Animal Crossing helped me survive COVID. Because sometimes you just want to go on a tropical island that changes into the four seasons and, catch butterflies and all that. So Animal Crossing's premise is a social simulation game where you develop a deserted island into a thriving community. So where Sims, you're trying to help these people get their lives together. Animal Crossing is, well, this guy, Tom Nook, had an idea to have a resort and he had like negative funds. But, he found some schmucks to live there and he also summoned you to live there. And you get to start out in a fun tent instead of a house. Whereas in My Sims, you get to start off in a house. It's just a simple house. You get to upgrade it over time, I think. Um, Animal Crossing is fantastic if you literally just want to pull weeds, shake trees, dig holes, talk to all these freaking people because there's a certain amount of houses that exist on your island. And you pay for them over time because everything comes from you when you play the game. I love this picture because it's literally like, this is what you start with. This is what you build it into. And like I said, you start with a freaking tent. And you got to build everything from scratch. You got to cut down all the trees, and depending on what location you choose, depends on what kind of trees you get, what kind of season you're in. So unlike My Sims, where it's like, all right, I'm in this town, and it's just day and night, one season, and things only change if I make them change. In Animal Crossing, the seasons will change whether you do stuff or not. The grass will grow back whether you do stuff or not. The villagers will leave if you do not show up enough, which is something I found like devastating because, you are in the throes of a intense part of your life, and then that intense part evolves into something else, and you put down the console. And then you come back and your villager's like, I haven't seen you for like 42 weeks. And it's like, how'd you know that I was gone for 42 weeks? So because this is, I'm gonna say modern, even though 2020 is almost 6 years ago, it has a tracker where you put down My Sims. I would pick up My Sims right now and play that game in like a decade. It's not gonna be like you've been gone for 6,000 days. Like, no, this one though will. And something I find really cute about Animal Crossing is that it makes you feel part of the community in the sense of like everyday life and how life isn't here in real life. Unless you have a thriving community that you see everyone every day that you say hi to, and you're out foraging and fishing and frolicking. If you have that life, cool. I'm happy for you. You're living the dream. But if you're in a simulation, you can actually get a little lost in this one because the graphics, unlike My Sims, are actually pretty, I'm gonna call them spectacular for imagination sense. So there are levels to this game that kept like releasing. So at one point you couldn't swim in the water and now you can swim in the water. There was a point that there was not the separate DLC island that you can design houses, and now you can. During the summer, there's another island that you can go to do like wedding photo shoots. So here, life changes as you're building your island, but it's not like tethered to what you do. Like obviously if you want this nice main building, I'm gonna call it, it's not a community center, excuse me, it's just the main building where Tom Nook and his girl live. Or if you want like an actual shop, you gotta put some effort in. You want a house, you gotta put some effort in. So it shows you that effort breeds reward, especially if you're like consistently talking to the Able sisters. There's three of them. You get to talk to all three of them eventually. We have to put in that effort. You see that? Those are called bells. You need them to be able to purchase anything in this game. So you figure out how to get that. And you can make your island really cute. or crusty. You can look up Animal Crossing like videos of people just showing you their island. I personally should do one because I am very proud of my island. But in a nutshell, this game taps into the storytelling of the imagination a lot more than the other two. Um, and I say that with take that with a grain of salt because we still have not talked about Stardew Valley. But with My Sims, like My Sims, you can in your mind create like backstories for each character, but their personas are pretty, they're set. They are not moving, they're not changing. They will, be more friendly over time, but like the police officer is always going to be the Grumpalump, whom I think likes tennis after a while. Um, but in Animal Crossing, the characters, like their personalities are set, but you can convince them to, stay if they don't live there yet, or you can make them your best friend or your worst enemy, because I've had some that were like the shadiest of ladies. But it taps even further into the imagination because you're literally crafting the island. You're sculpting every single building, every um river, every hill. You don't want hills. You want it to be a desert. You want it to be, I think I made mine into like a theme park of some kind, like the whole island. So you can make it into whatever you want. So it really taps into the idea of play. So this is really good if you are in the midst of something that like you still have the want to build, but you don't want to build something seriously because you can literally like tear up, tear down. Whereas in Sims, if you are talking to one of the visitors like this, um, and let's say you did the wrong thing and now they're either sad or angry, they're sad and angry for the rest of the day. You don't get the reward that comes with making this person happy. You don't get a second try. In this, if you plant a tree, you can unplant said tree. So if you want something chill and literally high maintenance, low cost, because if you don't come here, they will tell you that you haven't shown up and all the weeds will be on your island everywhere. And you also have roaches in your house if you don't show up regularly. But outside of all those high maintenance qualities, it's a very low maintenance game and high imaginative. And I'm going to stop talking about it so we can move on to Stardew Valley, because Stardew Valley is the reason why we made this video in the first place, because I never played Stardew Valley until mid-September. I have dedicated about over 100 hours and counting because I'm going to go play right after this video. And it has taken me aback because, like I said, I played My Sims through adolescence, end of elementary, all the way into like early high school. Animal Crossing got me through COVID. So 2020 to like 2022. Stardew Valley, I was using an emulator that was like Stardew Valley characters. I didn't know it was that it was from Stardew Valley. I just thought they were really cute. And that's how like all the characters of Storyteller Planet came to be. But I kept using them. And then I was like, I need to play this game if I keep using these. Like, it's not their characters. I'm not like, using their cast, but because I was using a character creator that was simulating their style, I was like, okay, I gotta play this game. And lo and behold, finally scrounged up a couple dollars, literally a couple dollars, because this game is not a $70 game. I think I paid $12 for it. Maybe. It wasn't even like, I don't even remember. It was less than $20. I'll tell you that much. One of the reasons I picked it up because I was like, I just need something in my life that isn't Storyteller Planet or anything else that I'm doing. So Stardew Valley's premise is the player inherits their grandfather's old, overgrown farm after escaping a soulless corporate job at the Joja Corporation. Now, Stardew Valley has a storyline. Stardew Valley has cutscenes. Animal Crossing does not have cutscenes. Actually, no, I take that back because if you're doing like KK's whatever, whatnot, or if you go on the boat with Geseo King, there's cutscenes. But like story cutscenes, they none of well, that's not true because I think Sims has some, but it's not as intense as Stardew Valley. I feel like my Sims walk so Stardew Valley could fly as far as cutscenes because you start off. Well, I'm gonna call him Old Man Jenkins because he really look like Santa Claus in a nightcap. Like come here, grandson or granddaughter, because they like I said, you could play this game infinitely. You can play all these games infinitely, but this one you could definitely play infinitely because I have put in over 100 hours and I have already made a second character just to see what the differences are. That's how invested I am in this game. But I digress. So come here, grandchild. Here's a letter. Open it when you feel disgruntled by the world. And I was like, why? As I was reading this, I'm like, why is no one giving me this letter right now? My life is very disgruntled. My life is very I need this letter. And it literally starts you, like it says, at a soulless corporation, the Joja Corporation. You're in a cubicle. Like literally, there was I don't know how many people before it got to you in the cubicles, and each one was miserable in their own special way. And you literally open this letter and it's like, here, have this farm. Sure. Yeah. Okay. And then you move to Stardew Valley and you start your life. And as you are going through all of the stuff and things that this game has to offer, because like I said, I put in over 100 hours and I still have not cracked. I feel like I've cracked like an eighth of the game. And there is a lot. A lot. This is the cast of characters. Like I haven't met this person or this person or this person or and I met this person. But there's like people that I have not met. And I've played this game for over 100 human hours because also I'm in year 3 of this because time is flying. I think when I looked it up, it said like 10 seconds is in our world is every hour in that world, something like that. But you see, like I said, the the cutscenes they happen because this is a cutscene from the dance, but they have like meaning behind them. Like you have to go find a dance partner for this. It's not just like huzzah cutscene, but you get to change your house. You get to upgrade from you start with the house. I will say that Animal Crossing is the only one that makes you stay in a freaking tent and makes you pay for the entire island to be built. So Animal Crossing is the ultimate imagination scam. But I digress. Um Stardew Valley, all these characters have a backstory, have a personality, and it's malleable as you befriend them. So there is a heart meter for each of these people. That's why like this is like their loved item. If you give this to them, you will get more hearts over time. And eventually, when you unlock enough hearts, you can give them a bouquet of flowers. And that bouquet of flowers means I like you, like you. And then you can unlock the other 2 hearts that comes with each, because each person you can unlock up to 10 hearts of like. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because as you're going through the game and you're unlocking all these hearts, you get all these different cutscenes and not just like happy go lucky cutscenes. I'm not going to spoil them, but like there's some in here that I'm like, oh, these are life. Like people get in arguments, people get in like life and death situations. I'm like, why am I here? That was the other thing. There's a lot of these cutscenes that, like, in my imagination, because I built my character. There's a lot actually to choose from. When I first made these slides, I didn't realize how much there was to choose for the characters. There are, by the way, this is not my character. This is just screen grabs from online. But there's an insane amount of ways that you can make your character, and I have yet to find a way to like change the look after you've already made the look. So I think you only get one shot at that. But like I said, I've already made 2 characters. So there's that. You can make as many characters as you want. And the reason why I encourage that and bring that up at all is because the interactions that you have with certain people, if you're a girl versus if you're a boy, if you give all your attention to one character versus if you disperse it throughout, so everyone loves you. Like my second character, my first character was very wholesome, farm girl coming to the city kind of girl. And then I was like, you know what? I found out as like I was about to give the bouquet to, I think I chose Alex, chose this character. I was like, he's cool. His backstory had my heart asunder. So um we chose him. I thought it was funny his name was Alex. But anyway, the moment that I found out after I'm like, investing all my time in Homeboy, that you can give more than one bouquet to there's 12 eligible, all these people. All these people are the eligible bachelors and bachelorettes of the island, and you can give a bouquet to each of them, and you can be dating all 12 of them at the same time. And I was like, I'm not about to make my homie farm girl a hoe. So that's why I made my second character, so they could deliberately be a hoe. They were literally made to make everyone in the town fall in love with them. I don't care about the cutscenes. I don't care about none of that. I care about unlocking all 10 hearts and seeing what happens when you unlock all 10 hearts for everyone that is in the village. So, as you can see, this one has a lot more investment of like imagination and like I'm gonna say mechanics, because when my Sims, there are some mini games. Like there's the tennis, and you have to unlock them. So there's tennis, fishing, paragliding, something else. I forget what the other one is. And then the casino, when you unlock the casino. So it's like, oh, there's all the flower, every shop has their own like mini game. So there's like a flower shop, and then the tailor has something else you can do. Regardless, there's like 6 mini games, and as you can see, I'm over here like struggling to figure out what they are. They really weren't like, to die for mini games, but if you played them, you leveled up. In this game is like the game that keeps on giving, because not necessarily a spoiler, it's a plot point of the game. It's of Stardew Valley. The community center, couldn't think of the word to save my life. The community center is in ruins. Eventually, I think it's like within the first week, because like I said, time actually exists here. So there's 4 seasons and 28 days in each season. And if you grow crops, excuse me, specifically to that season, and you didn't finish growing them and the season changes, your crop will die. But anyway, in the community center within your first week, you get access to it and you basically have to fix it. I learned 2 things. One, you can not fix it and side with the evil corporation, the Joja market company, and see what happens, which I did not do, because I was like, I didn't even know you could do that, and that sounds awful, but it is an option. So you can be the villain of the valley if you're really feeling froggy. But that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Be the villain of the valley and then make everyone fall in love with you anyway. Thoughts. Anyway, if you are trying to fix the community center, you in for like at least a year and a half cycle of the seasons, because they ask very specific things for you and you feel very like, I am fixing up my farm and I'm fixing up this community center and I'm talking to all these people, and it's very interactive, because like you'll need, for example, gems. You need to go to the mines. In order to go to the mines, you have to go, like if you're going through, I mean, not go to the mines, if you're going through the mines, then you need like tools and food and a sword of some kind. And as you're like, you actually fight monsters. It ain't Final Fantasy boss battles, but you kill a bat. And there actually is a cavern that I'm struggling with, believe it or not, like in this very simple hum-da-dum game where you're just like collecting flowers and raising chickens, because literally is a farm game. Whereas my Sims, you're trying to rebuild the town, and Animal Crossing, you're literally building from scratch the entire village. Stardew Valley is like, well, you plopped yourself into a community, an already established community on an already established plot of land. By the way, you get to choose which plot of land, just how like in Animal Crossing, if you want to live like on in a desert, you could do that in Stardew Valley too, or like the mountains or the whatever. It'll still be the same spot on the actual Stardew Valley map, but the place itself will change. Like my first one, it kind of looked like this. And then the second one, I chose the beach just to see what would happen. And you actually get different perks. So like for this forest one with all the fish, I have a lot of opportunities to go fishing. But with the beach one, not only do I have opportunities to go fishing, I get like washed up packages on the shore or something. And like I said, there is an insane amount of things to unlock in here. And it requires a lot of brain power because, and maybe I'm just in the weeds of it. Maybe that's just me. You know, it is a very casual game, but if you're like in the thick of it and you're really like using all your storytelling imagination power, you're like, all right, I want all these people to like me. So in order to get this person to like me, I need to give them these things. And in order to get these things, I need to do this. So if you start like giving yourselves like little task lists, or you're like walking up to like right here is like the help wanted boards. You go here and you see, oh, Jimmy needs a new pair of shoes. Give him a new pair of shoes and keep pushing. And you get money for it. There's I could probably do a dissertation on this because there's so much I have yet to explore and am still unlocking. But if you want something to be like, I need to get lost, and you don't have access to the Sims, and you already went through Animal Crossing, pick up Stardew Valley. Just do it. It's fun. It's hilarious. Cause like I said, the cutscenes and the interactiveness are incomparable to the other two because like I don't know. The one this first of all, this game was made by one person. And the fact that it was made by one person is impressive enough because there is not only time in here, there is seasons and they have costs and stipulations. You can't grow a winter melon in the springtime. You can't be out past 2 or your character will forcibly fall asleep wherever it is. And if you're outside, you're going to lose some money and someone might rob you of your stuff. Um, if you don't have enough energy, you will get sent to the emergency room. If you run out of health, you'll get sent to the emergency room and you will have to pay for both times that you go to the emergency room. Um, you need to feed your animals. Like it is very hands-on, interactive. There is no one that you have to feed in My Sims or Animal Crossing. Not a single person you got to feed. But when you don't feed your chickens in Stardew Valley, they are very angry. They will let you know that they're angry. So, yeah. But let's say you don't like any of these games. You're still in the thralls of wanting something new and funky fresh, but you don't like any of these games that I said. You're like, this is so boring. Like, if I want story, I'll go look for story. So go look for story because these are the games that I have watched all these God of War, Borderlands, most of the Final Fantasies, and Kingdom Hearts over my husband's shoulder. I have picked up God of War and Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. I tried Borderlands. I get a headache. Um, but my vertigo makes it very hard to play these very high quality games and enjoy them at the same time. So it's a slow goings, but if you want story, if you want to laugh, definitely play Borderlands. Only if you're a raunchy person, though, because some people are like, yeah, it's so intense. It's Borderlands. Go look at the freaking trailer for any of these games, and you will understand what they are. God of War series, because that's just the first one. Um, Beautiful. The cinematics and the storyline of that was actually well thought out and beautiful. Final Fantasy is a given. It's beautiful. Kingdom Hearts is just like a fan favorite at this point and their story is incomplete, but it has a lot of facets to it. So if you want to dive into a different story, Kingdom Hearts, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom combo. You want a story. You want to cry. You want to feel things. You want to go on an adventure. You pick these two up. Yes, both of them, not just one, because it's one and two. I should have also put the Zelda centered game on here because that was also a really good story that it was like you want a bite of something. I forget what it's called. But Twilight Princess is also if you want to pick up something old that you've heard about and you got an emulator hanging around because you don't have a Wii or a GameCube. That's how old this fucking game is. This was a really fantastic story. These two are sister stories. They're fantastic. I really wish I remembered. I think it's called Echoes of Wisdom. I'm gonna say that confidently. The Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, that is also a good game. But let's say you don't like video games. You don't have consoles. They're too expensive and don't got the time. And what is the emulator? All those questions. It's got these board games. Got me in a grip. Villainous. I'm gonna give all the credit to my brother for Catan. I only played his game. We tried to play actually the Game of Thrones one and got very confused very quickly because it was themed to Game of Thrones and none of us had seen Game of Thrones. But they also have like different places, different themes. But this, Catan, you want to use your brain about how to get territories and how to barter with people and how to be a nation. Like that's you don't have like a character, you don't really have a story, you just have a part of the board that you're trying to capture, I guess. Claim as your own. I don't really know how to explain it. But Villainous, on the other hand, if you are a Disney fan, and even if you're not a Disney fan, excuse me, they have one for Star Wars and they have one for Marvel that is very similar, but kind of has extra rules, I think, because they add every box seems to have their own special spice. But this is the OG box, the very first box that came out in 2019 because I was there for its like debut. I unintentionally I just stumbled into Target and there it was. I know we're boycotting Target right now, but Target is the only one that comes with the special piece. So if you just like, just want to get that and pretend that it doesn't come from Target, you could do that. But basically you are playing as a villain. It gives you, as you can see, like a little booklet, cards, a board, and you are basically given a set of tasks to complete in order to win the game that are specific to you. So if you are playing as Captain Hook, your objective is going to be very different than Maleficent, is going to be very different than Ursula. And your goal is to not only win the game for your board, but also stop them from getting their objective. So something that they have upgraded, because like I said, I've been on the Villainous train since the beginning, and this box has evolved so much from this box. This is the latest box that I do not have yet, but I will. And pretend that I'm not boycotting Target just for the piece because it's gorgeous. Anyway, something that they have upgraded on that was not in the initial boxes is that there's a card that tells you what the other people's objective is. And it can be overwhelming as a game if you're like a very simple-minded person that doesn't want to think too hard. Both of these games require a lot of mind power. So if you just go want to play Candyland, go play Candy. You play that Candy. But if you want something, we're talking about storytelling. The only reason I hopped on here is because all these games literally, I feel, improve your storytelling powers. Because with Villainous, you're embodying that character, you have your goals, but you're also seeing on the card what the other person, it's to the box, but if you have all the boxes, you just give the person the card. What that other villain, their objective is and how to stop them. Initially, what me and my husband would do is we would read our objective and then we would swap booklets to see what was the weakness from the other person, because it's very hard unless you're playing the game over and over again to understand what the weaknesses are of the other characters. So it's probably a cheating way, but we were just trying to decipher the game. as being creatives and all that. So these two games, I think Catan is probably the most expensive out of the two. But I know this game specifically is $20. This villainous box with the two characters. It's $20. Pick it up. It's not advertisement, it's just a recommendation. Because this game, me and my husband did a tournament, just me and him, of like we play, this is my board, that's your board. Whoever wins, all right, put that character to the side. And if we get whoever gets through the most characters win. We got through a lot of them. And then we didn't play Villainous for like 6 months because of it. So yeah. My final take home exercise for you is go play something that sets your storyteller heart on fire. Could be old, could be new, could be something I recommended, something that I didn't recommend. A board game, a video game, a card game, because card games are important. I just didn't put it on here. I encourage you to embrace your imagination for the rest of the holiday season because it is necessary. We're always in the hubble bubble of things. We're always moving forward at breakneck speed because life, never be slowing down for nothing in the world. And this is just your friendly reminder to take a breath and do something fun in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the celebrations, in the midst of the sprints, in the midst of the holiday shopping. Take a beat, take a breath, do something fun. Remind yourself why you do storytelling in the first place. And embrace it, because as you're doing this, you will not only hopefully come up with new ideas, but you also tap into your core and tap into what it means to you to be a storyteller, what your storytelling powers are, and your imagination. So yeah, that's all I have for you. After today, NaNoWriMo tips for 2025 will be available because I haven't put them in yet. I kind of forgot, and then I thought about it this morning and I was like, I need to do that. So right now it says the Preptober, but NaNoWriMo's still here. Just the new stuff will be up after this video. We will continue to update the main quest checklist and the side quest scrolls. But December through February is technically November through February is usually our downtime on Storyteller Planet. So check out what we have to offer, but not much is going to be changing. Yeah. I can't believe it. We did it. That is all I have for you. Have a wonderful rest of 2025. I will see you guys back in February where I do my impromptu welcome back informal video with a different format than we have now. But yeah, I'll see you guys next year. Bye.